It was their very existence. These families, I mean, they all depended on the kayak. It was a lifeline. This would be like your, Mozart of the classical world. There's only a handful of us that I know of that are doing this. Sometimes, you can get lost in this piece of wood. You just kind of zone out and get a rhythm going. Watching shavings fall, the smell of cedar, I love it all. I started paddling 10 years ago. I've always been on the water in some ways. I mean, I grew up surfing, so there's always been that love of the water. I just never thought kayaking would just sweep me off my feet. The paddle was something that I'd never seen or heard of before. I meet an older gentleman on the water and he just says, "Hey, have you ever used this paddle?" I'm like, I didn't even know it was a paddle. It only took me the first 5 strokes in, just enough to get underway to go, whatever this is, I want it. Like right now, I want it. I've got to know what these kayaks are like. The region of kayaks that I'm specifically talking about are the Greenland style kayaks. The people that live there were referred to as Inuits. They just kind of formulate this plan to build a kayak and cover it with sealskin. Talking about creating literally something out of nothing. It's just incredible. We just don't really know quite how long these kayaks have been in existence. People say 4,000 or 5,000 years or more. It's just quiet. These things were built for hunting. Customers want a traditional kayak, so there's no metal hardware goes into these things. It's about as organic as you can get. The kayak is lashed together with this artificial sinew.
Oh yeah, I need some thinner pieces.
I can feel the water temperature immediately. Yeah, I can feel current kind of pressing in. You know what's going on under that boat the entire time. You can build these kayaks in 9 days. I'll have customers who come in and they start with the intentions to finish, and the frame is done. It's now time to cover it, and they'll come back to me like the next day and like, I'm sorry, I cannot cover this boat. I've thought about it, like I just can't do it. I want to take the frame home and hang it up. So it's quite an experience because you cover up 95% of your work. And they don't want to do it, and I totally understand.
I probably will keep it on the wall more than it'll be in the water, just because it's so beautiful. So you don't want to ruin it. It's kind of like your baby here.
This sometimes to me is just nothing but a work of art. And you build a relationship with them. Each of them paddle differently. This kayak you're making with your hands, and you're trusting your life into something that you just made. I love it. There is no plan B. It's in my system, and I freely want to share it, and I want to open people up to this to keep the history of it alive. I just thought I was building boats. I didn't realize what I was getting into. It's literally history that can, be forgotten, long forgotten.